Hi, in this video we will be talking about UGAT 2017. UGAT is an exam for all the undergraduate courses like Integrated MBA, BBA, BCA, BHM and other allied courses generally preferred by commerce and arts students. This exam is conducted by AIMA, that is All India Association Management Association, and this year the exam is due on 13th of May. Technically speaking, this exam can be classified as a national level exam because UGAT has an affiliation with almost colleges across different regions. So, it will have association with colleges in Ahmedabad, Baroda, Jaipur, Delhi, Noida, Calcutta, Bangalore, Goa, Mumbai, Pune. So, and most of these colleges are regionally popular. So, a student aspiring for any national level entrance exam, say IPM or NMAT or Symbiosis, will definitely appear for UGAT and try to secure a seat in a regionally popular college. Most of the time such regionally popular colleges are considered as a backup for them, and hence UGAT becomes the most important exam as far as securing admission is concerned. Till last year, UGAT used to clash with Symbiosis law exam. This year both the dates are different, and hence you will see a rise in the number of applications in UGAT. Also, there are a lot of colleges which have started affiliating. So, they have extended the deadline this year, and they are expecting around 120 to 150 colleges being associated with UGAT. So, that itself will push more applications in 2017. Let us look at the entrance exam pattern. Entrance exam of UGAT has typically the 4 sections of aptitude and 2 sections of service and scientific aptitude, which is only for the students applying for bachelor in hotel management. So, a general aptitude test will consist of 4 sections: general English, numerical and quantitative aptitude, analytical and logical reasoning, and general awareness section. The 5th and 6th sections are only for the students who are applying for hotel management. So, 5th section is service aptitude and 6th section is scientific aptitude. Let us talk about each section in detail. As a typical aptitude test, general English section will can be divided into 4 subsections, that is vocab based questions, grammar based questions, reading comprehension based questions, and verbal reasoning based questions. So, in vocab based question there are 40 questions in all in this particular section, and vocabulary will almost occupy 50% of the space out of 40. So, you can expect somewhere around 18 to 22 questions in vocabulary, divided into different types of questions. So, you can expect questions on synonyms, antonyms, analogies, spelling correction, filling the blanks and word usages. Second is grammar based question. So, again this can be classified into 2 types of questions: sentence correction, error detection. Sometimes it can also be in the usage based, and approximately you can expect 8 to 10 questions on grammar. Then reading comprehension based questions, you can expect 2 to 3 passages, approximately 4 questions per passage. So, around 8 to 10 questions on reading comprehension, and verbal reasoning based questions like parajumbles, critical reasoning, statement assumption, statement conclusion. Such type of question can also be around 6 to 8. So, in all 40 questions. Generally this section is slightly easy. So, somebody who has been well preparing really well on language quotient, for him or her it should not be difficult to score more than 30 out of 40. Rest of the 3 sections are 30 marks each. So, the quantitative ability, general awareness and analytical and logical reasoning, all are 30 marks each. In all 130 marks of aptitude and 25 of service aptitude and scientific aptitude. So, 50 marks of that additional paper. So, you get 2 hours to attempt this 130 question. Now, let us talk about analytical and logical reasoning section. This is also a very typical reasoning section which you would have seen it in any other exam. So, you will have questions on arrangement and puzzles, coding, decoding, series, sequences, cause and effect relationship, syllogisms, and mostly all these areas are evenly distributed. So, out of 30 questions, if there are say 7 to 8 different areas, you can expect 4 or 5 questions on each of these areas. Again, because UGAT is looked upon by the students as a backup, and there are a lot of regional level students applying for it. So, the level of difficulty is generally easy. So, Again, analytical and logical reasoning section, you can say that attempting 25 plus out of 30 should not be a great challenge for a well prepared student. Third is quantitative aptitude. Again, it is divided evenly between arithmetic, algebra and geometry. In geometry, there are no questions on triangles or circles or polygons. Geometry is primarily focused on mensuration side, that is area and volume, both 2D and 3D, and the proportion is approximately 5 to 6 marks out of 30. So, majority of the chunk goes to arithmetic. So, around 15 to 16 questions out of 30 will be from arithmetic portion. So, chapters like percentages, ratio, numbers, application of ratios like time and work, time, speed and distance will be the major chunk in the exam. Questions based on algebra will be very simple word problems based on linear or quadratic equations. So, some sets on set theory based logic. Fourth section is general awareness section. Now, this is slightly unpredictable because there are no defined areas in which general awareness can be asked. So, typically if you look at the other exams and this exam, historically this exam say 2015 and 2016 pattern, the breakup of the general awareness section was like you had around 10 to 12 questions on business, companies, economics and latest updates on businesses or who's who of businesses, around 5 to 6 questions on sports, around 5 to 6 questions on international affairs. So, any international treaty which has been recently signed, the location of the treaty or the date of the treaty or the countries involved, then questions on awards and recognitions, that too on both the front, that is domestic as well as international front, and some current socio-political updates, especially the recent ones. There have been instances where couple of questions had a scope of ambiguity, but that is something which we cannot avoid. There have been instances where they have asked questions on history and geography also. So, as far as preparation goes, you will have to be slightly more exhaustive in preparation, so that you can tackle the unpredictability of this particular section. Next part of the discussion is to understand the most frequently asked questions with reference to UGAT. Now, UGAT is an exam. It does not give you an entry to any particular college or course directly. So, you will have to apply to the colleges that you wish to or you are interested in separately, and at the time of appearing for UGAT, you are supposed to mark the code of 5 different colleges. So, UGAT will be sending your scores to those 5 colleges, but that again does not guarantee you interview call from those colleges. You will have to apply separately to these colleges. And in case you are interested in more than 5 colleges, you will have to pay extra to UGAT to send your scores to these colleges. So, one thing that you need to take care is that just applying to UGAT will not be sufficient enough. You have to identify region wise, say maybe you may have an inclination towards a particular region. So, identify different set of colleges in that region or maybe an additional region. So, you can have your priority, say priority number 1, say western region, priority number 2 is a northern region. So, in western region I may apply to 3 colleges and in northern region I may apply to 2 colleges. Additionally, if I have to apply, I have to pay to UGAT authorities to send my score to these colleges, and I have to fill up the separate application form to all the colleges that I wish to apply for. Generally, most of the colleges affiliated to UGAT will have their application deadline after UGAT results are declared also, but you will have to track these deadlines. We cannot assume that all the colleges will remain open for application even after the results are announced. Couple of colleges, say Nirma Institute of Management in Ahmedabad, they offer a pre-decided cutoff range, but otherwise generally college will not give you a pre-decided cutoff range. You will have to look at the score, and they will look at the number of applications, and then they will decide whether to give you an interview call or not. And most of the colleges will consider UGAT score, and post that you are supposed to appear for their own process. So, a second process round will be typically a group discussion and a personal interview. Okay. Some colleges may also ask you to write an essay, say in Nirma Institute of Management, they again ask you to write an essay. They do not have GD as a part of process. Second most frequently asked question is about the validity of UGAT score. AIMA conducts UGAT only once a year. Hence, UGAT 2017 will have a validity for only 2017 intake. They have other entrance exams for post graduation like MAT, which is conducted multiple times a year, and hence the validity for the same can vary, but in case of UGAT it is only valid for 2017-2018 academic intake. Third most frequently asked question is with reference to the admit card. Now, they have a slightly complicated process where you are supposed to authenticate your admit card through a gazetted officer. So, please ensure that once you have your admit card, the dates have been given to you in the list of important dates. So, once you get your admit card, mostly it is they will give you a 1 week time approximately to get your admit card authorized by verified by a gazetted officer. So, please ensure, because if you are not verified your admit card from a gazetted officer, they will not allow you to write an entrance exam. Fourth most frequently asked question is on the type of questions on service aptitude. Now, service aptitude and scientific aptitude is something which you cannot get a formal coaching on. Okay, there are some material, random material available over here and there, but it purely depends on your ability to take decisions into critical in critical situations. So, as far as service aptitude is concerned, you will be thrown into different situations, like say for example, you are a floor manager of a particular restaurant, and then a customer has given so and so kind of raised so and so kind of a complaint. Now, how will you handle this situation? So, there are 4 options given to you. You are supposed to identify which is the best possible solution to this situation. Similarly, in scientific aptitude, there are situations which will demand your basic science knowledge. So, that is physics, chemistry and biology knowledge with reference to things that we use in our day to day lives. So, maybe some jargons which we use in our day to day life, some objects that we use in our day to day life, and some instruments which we use in our day to day life, and a basic science related to it. Say for example, a question can be on describing the type of chemical, or describing the type of metal that a particular object has, and how it can react to say suppose citrus acid. Now, this is some experiment which we might have done it in our house, when you use a copper vessel and you use a lemon over it. So, you know how it reacts. Okay. So, such type of question, it does not require a specific scientific knowledge, but if you have studied basic science and if you know the applications in our day to day life, I am sure you will be able to handle this section comfortably. And finally, the most important aspect, the dates. Please ensure you follow all the dates. You do not miss out on the application deadline or updation of your photographs or signature or payments. So, please follow all these dates. Wishing you all the best for your exams. Happy UGAT.